News.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KBNU.
KBNU News Time is 4:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by the Duck Hunter. A new employee has joined the administrative staff of Cache County. Dr. Dirk Anderson of Smithfield assumed the role of Chief Deputy to County Executive David Zook as of March 15th. While introducing Anderson to members of the County Council, Zook described him as having a tremendous amount of experience in local and state government. He has a bachelor's and master's degree in public policy from BYU and a PhD in leadership from the University of the Cumberlands, Zook explained. Anderson also worked for 4 different governors in 3 states. Those include Governor Huntsman of Utah as primary budget and policy analyst for higher education, Governor Gray Davis of California as primary budget and policy analyst over aging services, for Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger of California as primary budget and policy analyst over various departments, and Governor Bill Walker of Alaska as budget director of the Department of Health and Social Services. Anderson now lives in Smithfield with his wife Rory and 2 sons. Zook described the recruitment effort that resulted in Anderson's hiring as a long and difficult process. KBNU News Time is 4:06. KBNU weather for tonight, mostly clear, low in the mid-30s. Sunny to partly cloudy, mid-60s on Friday. Around 70 degrees on Saturday, partly cloudy Sunday, and mid-70s for the high. It's been to 65. It's 64 right now here at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by Northern Steel Buildings. Contact their Cache Valley team to protect what's yours at northernsteelbuilding.com. Value from concept to construction. Call 435-677-7300.
John at the Duck Hunter asks, have you ever checked the dryer vent cover on the outside of your home? It could be broken, full of lint, or worse yet, you could have an unwanted guest living in it. John suggests you check your dryer vent today. And if you can't, call John at the Duck Hunter. He'll do a visual inspection, and if needed, run a camera through the dryer vent line to see what's going on in there. For a free consultation, call the Duck Hunter, 770-4813.
We are the Duck Hunter. Breathe better, save money, protect your home. We are the Duck Hunter.
KBNU News Time is 4:07. A new learning center is coming to the Utah State University Quad, a 2-story, 38,000 square foot building to house programs in the Department of World Languages and Cultures in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. The building will be named for Mehdi Haravi, who at 16 traveled alone from Tehran to Logan to attend high school and later USU. He said within a few months of arriving in Logan in the 1950s, he made friendships that continue today, including couples who claimed him as their own son.
So I could qualify for Guinness Book of Records as having 4 fathers and 4 mothers. And Mr. and Mrs. Sears was one of them. Dr. and Mrs. Boston, another one. And I always say this, Mr. Utah State himself, God rest his soul in peace, Milton Merrill and his wife.
Haravi, whose father, A.A. Haravi, became the father of scientific farming in Iran, later became vice president of the National University of Iran and has maintained his friendships in northern Utah and visits Logan often. So what does he want this building to become?
My vision is, I hope, I dream, I pray, that anyone who goes through that building in any capacity would become a promoter of peace, believer in freedom, believer in brotherhood, in equality, inclusiveness.
The new building will be located between the Ray B. West building and Old Main in what is now the Purple parking area. Construction will begin following graduation this spring. And a woman from Rocky Ridge, Utah, has been reported missing, and the Juab County Sheriff's Office hopes the public can help find her. 45-year-old Lenore Allred was last seen on Tuesday evening in Rocky Ridge. The Sheriff's Office says she was walking, and her family is worried about her welfare and safety. Allred is reportedly 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighs 180 pounds, and has blue eyes and red-brownish hair. KUTV reports that the Sheriff's Office, along with Juab County Search and Rescue, are trying to work with the local community to figure out where she is and searching various areas near Rocky Ridge. KBNU News Time is 4:10. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
Know about it. Talk about it. News Talk KVNU 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
This is Dr. Red, chiropractic physician with Red River Health and Wellness. Have you been suffering and you can't find any answers?
I actually suffer from depression and anxiety. I also have had severe IBS problems. I actually had gone into a different doctor of mine because I thought maybe I was starting to go through menopause and had problems sleeping, and I wasn't resting well, and just everything felt wrong.
Red River Health and Wellness can help.
I am now back at work. It's easy. I get through things effortlessly at work, and it's been a life-changing for me. I'm sleeping better at night. I have full energy all day. I don't have those slumps where I need a nap. It's been amazing. It's been a good journey for me.
Our goal is to teach you and educate you so you know how to manage your condition a lot more effectively, and you know what to do and what not to do for the rest of your life.
Schedule your appointment today at 855-55-RIVER. Red River Health and Wellness with offices in Logan, South Jordan, Springville, and St. George.
Call Red River today.
Friday edition of Clay and Buck. We will bring you the latest on the Ketanji Brown Jackson hearing in the Supreme Court. Also, the latest on the war in the ground in Ukraine. Get you ready for the weekend with more, Buck.
Plus, we'll be joined by a guest who's written a book he calls An Inconvenient Minority about what racial politics in America look like as a matter of law and culture. That and more coming up on Clay and Buck.
10 to 1 on News Talk KVNU 102 FM and 610 AM. For the people.
We are waiting with bated breath for news from the Cash Republican Party meeting an executive committee tonight.
With Jason Williams.
And I'm really excited about this next segment. We have two guests here in studio. We're going to talk about something that we've talked about many times here on the show, but from a bit of a different angle.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. Packed show today, literally, start to finish with guests. In hour two, we'll be joined by Chris Booth. He is the former Cache County Republican Party chairman, now candidate for Cache County Council. He'll be joining us as we continue to churn through the candidates as quickly as we can as we head into convention and then, predictably, some primaries that will play out between now and June. So stay tuned for that. USU political science professor, an expert in geopolitics, Colin Flint. Professor Flint will be joining us in hour two as well to talk about what to contextualize the headlines out of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and talk about where this all possibly goes from here from a geopolitical perspective, including China, shifting power structures, and literal geography. It's an interesting conversation we'll be having in hour two of today's show about those headlines out of Ukraine, putting it in context of global politics. Here in this hour, much more fun and much more lighthearted topic than Ukraine or elections and campaigns. It is Thursday. It is 4 o'clock. It's time to step into the world of arts, entertainment, and theater with our good friend Charlie Schill here in the studio. Charlie writes for CashValleyDaily.com, where you can read his work, news stories, theater reviews, and more each and every day. 1 hour out of his week, he sets aside to join us here in the studio, review what's in the theaters, what's coming to the theaters. And Charlie, welcome. Good to see you.
Thanks.
How's your week been? weather-wise, we've gone from winter coats to shorts in about a 24-hour period here. So we've got that going for us at least. But we were in a bit of a theater lull last week.
And we're still in the theater.
Still writing that out.
No.
Kinda.
We've got Lamb of God and King of Kings.
That's right.
That's the Davis Symphonic Orchestra.
Yeah.
And
that's Friday and Saturday, right, at Eccles?
Correct.
Okay.
And we've got. Then we really have a lull. We can talk about 9 to 5 and
That's the 9 to 5 is the last of USU's theater season, right?
Yeah.
That's the last show.
And we can also talk about what do you call it? The SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh yeah.
And
once again, another show. I'm excited to see how it lands in Cache Valley.
Yeah.
Whether it's a hit or this is. Are you headed out to the? I know the gallery walk's coming up this weekend, and I noticed the theaters had some little placards out highlighting upcoming shows and things like that. You can kind of feel the buzz of I know with movies in theaters we have a summer movie season, but there is also kind of a summer theater season that's it's always struck me as a little strange because we have stuff going on year round in the theaters here in northern Utah, but there is this summer vibe, I guess, as the kids would say, that comes out and people start thinking more about this type of thing. And you can sort of see that in downtown Logan right now. The theaters are starting to warm up a little.
Yeah. The Lyric will be going for starting mid-June.
Oh, wow.
And then the God, I'm having the worst day. then the festival opera.
Oh, that's right.
Starts in right after the 4th of July, and that's Katie Bar the Door.
Yeah.
The Lyric does one show a week. They drop them in, but the festival opera just likes to jam them all together.
That's and they. I know they play things pretty close to the vest until they make the final announcement, but I've been hearing rumors that they plan to do a full on. We made it through the pandemic celebration of sorts with their season this year. And have you heard any rumors yourself about what they mean by that?
Well,
are they going to throw something new in and surprise us? Or
no, not that I'm aware of. In fact, they're doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which is, they've had the the Joseph is.
It's popular. I mean, it's
well, yeah, but it's the odd thing is that they've got the
You're trying to remember the guy's name, and so am I, huh?
No.
I'm Googling as fast as I can because I know where you're headed, but we're both having one of those days.
The deal is that Joseph is a
it's a popular. It's I want to say done to death, but that's unfair, kind of, I guess, because it is. I mean, people like it.
Yeah, and it's done to death.
Is it?
Yeah, and
is it ever done any differently? Have you ever? I mean, I don't. This sounds so critical, but every time I've seen it, it's been exactly the performance I've seen before. I've never seen a real variation of any kind on the way it's done, like you do with Peter Pan or even Beauty and the Beast. Some of these that are done a lot. With Joseph, it's always Andrew Lloyd Webber's Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yeah. But the thing is, they've done this here. They've maybe 2018, maybe 2016. I don't know, but they've done it. I think that Vanessa Ballum just really likes to do the show. She played the narrator in the performance that they did back in 2016 or 2018, whatever.
I can't remember either.
No, but and I think she likes doing it. So they like to, let her have her head.
Sure, and it'll sell out.
Oh, of course,
or close,
But that's they may just surprise us.
You think so with this?
Yeah,
with this performance.
The way it's been done, and it is traditional that the brothers all are spread out. They're and the Pharaoh is a favorite part. And the narrator is played by Vanessa Ballum. So what the heck?
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
It's sort of, I like I say, I don't want to downplay it because it'll be popular, it'll be good. But I looked at the rest of what they're doing, and I think Joseph kind of fell pretty low on Man of La Mancha. They're planning that,
which they've done before.
Yeah, recently, isn't it?
Yes, and they will end up with Michael Ballum as the Man of La Mancha.
Sure.
And it was
okay, right?
Yeah. It's just an attempt to take care of business.
Sure. It's interesting when you think about that because it seems, obvious that this would happen, and yet to some of us purists, or maybe you should call us naive, the idea that a theater company, that a production company would throw some givens in, throw in some things they know will, help pay the bills and keep the lights on for that season. It makes sense. businesses do that all the time.
Yeah.
We do it here. It's, but then I like to see when they offset that with some risks, and that's what I think I see missing from the Festival Opera lineup for 2022 is you've got some lesser heard ofs, the Tenderland, Magic Flute's pretty well known, but not as often performed. And then they have some of these other, supplemental things beyond Carmen. I'm noticing a spotlight on silent films. So it's a fun season. There's a lot, to go out and see, but I don't see any big risk.
Well, yeah, that's true. But they can perform.
You can tell we're trying to be so careful about how we talk about this, but yeah, it's gonna. I feel like I have to say this now that I've been slightly critical. It's gonna be a good season, but yeah, it's as the lineup was announced, I think most people were like, well, I mean, that's exactly what we expected, which is sometimes a bit of a disappointment. Charlie Schill, our guest here in the studio. He writes for CashValleyDaily.com, news stories, theater reviews, and more. And you can read his work each and every day there. But once a week, he joins us here in the studio to talk theater in Cache Valley. We've been going through a bit of the Utah Festival Opera lineup as that was announced for 2022. And as Charlie mentioned, we've got 9 to 5 with the Utah State University's theater crew putting that together. And then this is our last week of lull, actually. Things really pick up steam starting next week, so we'll take a look ahead here. Talking theater with Charlie Schill here in the studio. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Drew Allen with Allen Mortuaries. Over the years, thousands of families have planned ahead with Allen Mortuaries. Planning ahead helps you make informed and thoughtful decisions. It also spares your family the stress of making these decisions under the pressure of time and strong emotions. Allen Mortuaries' secure pre-need trust plan can save you nearly 40% versus other plans. Keep it simple, safe, and secure. Go with the proven choice, Allen Mortuaries. Voted best funeral home in Cache Valley in northern Utah. Allen Mortuaries. Then, now, always.
UNI Furniture is stocked up with a wide variety of home furnishings. You've heard us talk before about UNI's chair department, Chair Heaven. A big variety there means there's a good chance they're going to have the chair you're looking for. UNI also is your mattress headquarters, featuring Therapeutic and Maloof. In fact, UNI's a full-line Maloof dealer with all kinds of mattresses, headboards, adjustable bases, and even pillows and sheets. Also, try out the new Therapeutic Synthesis, a hybrid mattress with an inner spring and copper-infused memory foam. UNI has a big inventory in stock. It's ready for pickup or delivery. There's always a better buy at UNI Furniture, downtown Logan.
This is Logan City Police Chief Gary Jensen. Scammers are continuing to target people in the Cache Valley. Fraudsters often threaten with arrest, withholding medical care for loved ones, or offer to sell or purchase items at discounted or inflated prices. Many of these scams often involve third-party gift cards or other money-exchanging services. If you receive an offer or are threatened like this with immediate punishment unless you comply, hang up and call the police to report it. Please do not become a victim.
Hi, we are the Girl Scouts of Troop 13, and it's time to get your box of Girl Scout cookies.
Look for our cookie booths at grocery stores this weekend, or check the cookie finder on girlscouts.org and enter your zip code.
Take your adventure to the next level. Try our new Girl Scout Adventurables.
Girl Scouts of Utah, building girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place.
Again, look for our cookie booths at grocery stores this weekend, or check the cookie finder on girlscouts.org and enter your zip code.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. It is Theater Hour here in the studio with Charlie Schill, our guest from CashValleyDaily.com. You can read his work there each and every day. but he joins us here in the studio once a week to talk theater in Cache Valley. We've been before the break. We've been trying to have a careful conversation about the Utah Festival Opera without. It's difficult. How do you manage this, Charlie? Because you write reviews, and occasionally, here at CacheValleyDaily.com, you've had to write a review that wasn't mean or anything like that, but you had to say something along the lines of, I found this disappointing. And then you're going to go out and interact with these same directors and production companies again in the future. Do they handle it well? Do they take it personally?
No, they handle it very well. And, I try to to emphasize the positive. If a person is really good in their role, I say so.
Sure.
If I find that somebody isn't good,
sure, which happens, right?
I tend to to say that you've heard the phrase damning with faint praise. Or or simply don't mention it. Don't mention anybody who isn't good. Okay, I apologize. I am just absolutely tongue-tied. I don't know what's going on.
Uh-oh. What's in your drink there?
Honest, there's nothing.
It's just Thursday, and the sun's out, and I've always
maybe it's that.
Maybe we all want to be somewhere else right now. So, I was thinking about this over the weekend with it being a lull, being a fan of theater, being someone when you find yourself in a lull, what do you go do with your time on a weekend when there isn't really anything big opening and you've seen everything that is playing? Do you go back to, classics on DVD? Do you go, or do you just take a break from theater in general?
I take a break.
Do you?
Yeah.
Watch some Marvel movies? No, that's not it.
You know what I do? I go back to what my wife calls the black and whites.
Oh, okay.
I'll go to something that's, The Big Sleep.
Classic.
The Casablanca. And, of course, we have to schedule that around. What do you call it?
Someone told me once there's a time for Casablanca and there's a time not for Casablanca. I rediscovered over the weekend. I was moving some boxes, and I didn't remember buying this. In fact, I'm not sure I did. It might have been a gift that I'd just forgotten about. But apparently I own the entire collection of the Thin Man movies.
Oh, yeah.
And these, if you've never seen those, anyone out there, so the way this ties in with theater is this was, I remember reading, this was originally intended as a production, a stage production, and a producer caught wind of the playbook and said, "Can I make this movie?" And they agreed, and then it ended up being this big hit. And for those out there not familiar with it, it's basically a husband and wife detective team with a hilarious dog.
Yep.
And they're both alcoholics, I'm sure, even though, because that was, at the time, that was what everyone did. They're black and white films, and the comedy surprisingly holds up. But as I went through and remembered, some of those films and even watched a bit of the one, I found myself wishing that it had been a stage production instead of a film. And then you bring up Casablanca. I've always sort of felt the same way. I wish that my first exposure to that story had been a live theatrical production.
Well, it was.
That was.
The.
That's how most people first experienced it, right?
Yeah. Everybody, that show was called Everybody Comes to Rick's.
Oh.
And
I've forgotten that.
And it was, a minor hit on the stage, and somebody said, "Oh, well, let's get it." And then okay, we're going to start over.
the actor, who's in that? Who's in the film?
What do you call
Stewart? No.
No. It's Ingrid Bergman.
Bogart. Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart, and I don't remember
who's the villain. Well, not really villain, but he played a villain in Claude Rains.
Yes.
So the story I heard, I don't know if this is true, but the story I heard is that Claude Rains was the one that eventually, propelled this from the stage to film, and that's when most people finally heard the story. But I'd forgotten about Everybody Comes to Rick's. Now, is that still produced and performed? Do you see that ever?
No.
That's too bad.
And the reason that it's not is because Everybody Comes to Rick's is not a World War II story.
Oh. That's right.
That's right.
I'd forgotten that.
The World War II, the Casablanca conference was just before that came out. So they dialed it up to make it seem more topical.
That is, I'd forgotten all about that. That it was, they brought World War II into it to make the movie a hit.
Yeah.
It's fun to explore the history of some of these classics, because oftentimes, especially, as you said, your wife calls them the black and whites. There is often a theater tie-in. There is often a stage tie-in, because that's where a lot of this content was coming from.
Yeah.
As film, was just starting to take off. Fascinating. This is Charlie Schill, our guest here in the studio. He writes for CashValleyDaily.com, and you can read his work there each and every day, both news stories, theater reviews, and more. He joins us here in the studio once a week to talk theater in Cache Valley. No big openers this weekend, but we do have USU's 9 to 5 to talk about. We can go back to Utah Festival Opera. And, of course, if you would like to join us, if you have a question or comment, 753-5868. This is KVNU's For the People. We'll be back right after the news with KVNU's Bill
Thank you, Jason. KBNU News Time is 4:39, and this look at the news is brought to you by Roof Rescue. Well, Cache Valley residents have no shortage of choices when it comes to dining out or grabbing a snack, and even more options will be opening soon. Recently, such chains as Dutch Brothers Coffee, Mo Betta's Hawaiian-style food, their new location, and Cup Bop have opened new locations in and around Logan. Other non-chain dining, dessert, and drinking options have also recently opened, including Shivers and Barrel and Stave. Several more chain restaurants are currently under construction or planned in this growing community and hot economy. Coconut Island Grill opened its newest location this week at 472 South Main in Logan. The first Coconut Island Grill opened in Bountiful in 2016 and started adding new locations last year. In-N-Out, the California-based restaurant known for a basic hamburger menu, is expected to open its first location in Cache Valley sometime this spring on the corner of 400 North Main in Logan. There are currently 378 locations throughout western states, including Texas. Also, the Habit Burger Grill, another California-based restaurant chain expanding to Logan. The Habit Burger Grill under construction at approximately 1355 North Main in Logan between 7-Eleven and Chick-fil-A is known for its variety of char burgers, and Habit also serves sandwiches, salads, and shakes. And you can see what else is on the agenda for culinary taste buds at Eric Franson's story at CacheValleyDaily.com. Concerning video from home security cameras has South Ogden police searching for a creeper caught peering into people's homes. Officers received 3 reports over the last few days of a man coming onto people's property and looking through their windows in the South Ogden area. Fox 13 reports that neighbors are on edge, saying it's violating and invades privacy. Detective Jeremy Nelson said that over the weekend, 2 women went after the man with a baseball bat. Investigators still are not sure if it's the same guy in all the videos that they've received so far. Nelson says they do have a lead on who this man could be, but is still advising the community to be on the lookout. South Ogden officers are also checking with the Ogden City Police Department to see if the man could be connected to past Ogden cases where a man was arrested for voyeurism. And a Provo doctor is facing additional allegations after a lawsuit was filed claiming dozens of incidents of sexual battery and sexual assault. The lawsuit was first filed against OB/GYN Dr. David Broadbent back in February with 4 plaintiffs. Since then, the number has grown. Salt Lake City attorney Adam Sorensen has been representing the plaintiffs. They were identified in the lawsuit as Jane Does, followed by their initials. The suit has been amended to include 50 total victims. The lawsuit filed in district court in Utah County alleges that Dr. Broadbent took advantage of his position and plaintiff's vulnerability in that relationship of trust as he sexually battered and abused plaintiffs and numerous other women over the course of 4 decades. KUTV reached out to the attorney representing Broadbent, David Epperson. He issued the following statement that Dr. Broadbent categorically denies all of the allegations of wrongdoing that are asserted in the lawsuit. Medical ethics prevent Dr. Broadbent from saying anything more, but he believes that time will prove that the charges in the lawsuit have no basis. KBNU News Time is 4:43.
I'm Providence resident Gloria Nadal. None of the roofers that I contacted could get my insurance company to approve replacing my roof. Then I met David Beathers of Roof Rescue, who not only took the time to listen to me, but was honest, patient, and possessed the skills to get my insurance company to ultimately pay for my roof. I have referred so many of my neighbors and friends to David that I have lost count. There's definitely a reason they have been nominated for the best of northern Utah.
KBNU weather for tonight, mostly clear is the forecast. Low temperature in the mid-30s, and then sunny in the morning, becoming partly cloudy, mid-60s on Friday. By Saturday, partly cloudy, around 70 for the high. It's been to 65, and that's where we are right now, 65 degrees at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by Whole Tree Care. Right now is the best time to get your trees and shrubs trimmed. Visibility is perfect right now, so do it before they leaf out. Call 760-6587. Whole Tree Care has a certified arborist and best cleanup crew around. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com. Let's check Wall Street now with Edward Jones.
Good afternoon. This is Raydale Gibbons bringing you the Financial Markets Report on behalf of financial advisor Mike Arnold and Edward Jones for Thursday, March 24th. Markets closed sharply higher today with the S&P up over 1%. This comes as oil prices move lower, although still hovering above the $110 levels. Meanwhile, bond yields resume their climb higher as the U.S. 10-year yield is up 2.35%, close to the year's high of 2.38%. We continue to also see safe haven assets rise today as both gold and the U.S. dollar indexes move higher also. Today, President Biden is in Europe this week to meet with NATO and European leaders, and today announced further sanctions against Russia. The U.S. administration is also set to support European allies through prioritizing direct LNG gas shipments in order to reduce the region's dependency on Russian energy. This may be helping ease the pricing pressure on oil markets today. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 349 points at 34,708. The NASDAQ is closed up 269 points at 14,192. And the S&P closed up 64 points at 4,520. In the bond market, the 10-year Treasury yield is trading at 2.36 higher. Today, the price of crude oil was down $3.51 at $111.42. The price of gold was up $24.90 at $1,962.20. For stocks of local interest, Autoliv closed up 72 cents at 77.47. Chevron's up 44 cents at 166.30. Dominion Energy's up 67 cents at 82.30. Home Depot's down $1.27 at 315.78. Kroger's up 30 cents at 56.75. Lowe's is down $1.75 at 219.17. McDonald's up $4.14 at 240.26. Microsoft's up $4.61 at 304.10. Nucor's up $6.38 at 153.52. Philip Morris is up $1.33 at 92.58. And Walmart stores closed up 88 cents at $142.83. This has been today's Financial Markets Report, brought to you on behalf of Edward Jones, a member of the SIPC, and financial advisor Mike Arnold, serving individual investors with personalized attention and financial advice, located at 135 North Main, Suite 102 in downtown Logan. If you'd like additional information, please contact our branch office at 753-2915.
Hi, it's Congressman Blake Moore here. Like many of you, I grew up next to the runways of Hill Air Force Base, with the familiar sounds of freedom flying overhead. Utah's defense industry has doubled since 2015, making up 10% of our state's GDP and supporting over 200,000 jobs. As Utah's only representative on the Armed Services Committee, my number one priority has been meeting the needs of Hill Air Force Base. That means fighting for the F-35 program, nuclear modernization, and a locality pay that covers Utahns' living expenses. I want to thank our uniformed personnel and their families, as well as the tens of thousands of Utahns working to support our national defense. Your service helps America fly, fight, and win, and I will continue to advocate for your priorities in Congress. To learn more about how we've delivered for Utah's defense community, visit my website at blakemore.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. As I accidentally spin my keyboard off on the floor here, Charlie Schill joining us here in the studio for our weekly look at arts, entertainment, theater, and more. You can read Charlie's work each day at CashValleyDaily.com, news stories, theater reviews, etc. But he joins us here in the studio for an hour. And Charlie, I noticed, I got us off on so many tangents in the first part of the hour there, but I noticed you you brought a calendar of sorts here, color coded even, of some kind. Tell us about that. I'm curious. You know something I don't.
This is a list of let me explain something.
Uh-oh. I like the stories that start with explanations.
I have no idea what I'm saying. No, I've been not getting sleep, and the reason why I'm not getting sleep is a dog. But
those beloved family pets.
Yes, but I apologize. I'm going to be okay
after a nap.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Anyway, what we've got here is a list of the summer programs that the theater companies are putting on for youngsters.
Oh, okay.
And they run from this is for the Pickville Playhouse. They run from June 11 to 15, July. Pardon me, July 11 to 15, July 18 to 22. There's two of them there. July 25 to 29, August 1st to August 5th.
Wow.
And what they do is they basically take the workshop. They work on musical numbers and scenes that our campers will perform for the end of week performance.
Oh, wow.
And they do this basically to introduce singing, dancing, acting abilities, whether you're a beginner or an expert.
Oh, wow.
And they will divide the class up based on experience.
Okay.
And this is, and then they will do
I forgot they have a whole workshop schedule as well.
And there's, for example, the camp dates for
I'm seeing Logan and what's the difference between Logan High School and the studio Logan is a private location. Is that, am I gathering that right? The others are at Logan High School. You mentioned July 11th through the 15th, July 18th through 20th. Registration's open now, right, for these?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 18th to 22 is a workshop for ages 6 to 7.
Oh, that could be fun.
Yeah.
That would be. Here's your opportunity to write a mean review. You go down, you watch, and then you just light them up.
No. This is good stuff. They have, the shows aren't good. Well,
they try to do lighter, simpler stuff, right?
Well, Music Theater West is performing from June 13th to 25th.
Oh.
And the times are from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh, wow.
And they're doing
I had this somewhere myself.
they're doing Legally Blonde Junior.
Oh, okay.
So at the end of the production, they do a show that is basically a
light version of. I'm trying to think. Legally Blonde. You wouldn't have to take too much out to make it appropriate for this age group, would you?
No.
Maybe some things, but that's fun. So you're talking kids age 8 to 18 that are going to be. So they have a week to from introduction to the material to performance.
No. They've got. In the case of Legally Blonde Junior, they've got 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Okay.
Still, though.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And CTC also has a production. They don't have the details on it yet because they're going to wait until after they do legal. They do
the second one.
No, they're going to do.
So it's Legally Blonde Junior
for
Music Theater West.
Music Theater West. They CTC will also do a version, probably of.
What did they do in the spring? I'm trying to remember.
What do you call it?
We're having a day here. Charlie and I both cannot remember, and I'm Googling as fast as I can.
No. They will probably do SpongeBob SquarePants Jr.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for this age group, and that now this is fun. I the idea of seeing again for listeners out there, this is children age 18 or 8 to 18 will be part of these workshops. There is one for ages 6 to 7 as well, and then after 2 weeks from introduction to performance, get to see these junior versions of certain productions that have been done here in Cache Valley. This is the Pickville workshop schedule Charlie's talking about here, and you can find that at pickvilleplayhouse.com. And I'm excited about that. You gave me something to look forward to, Charlie. Thanks again for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and it's the end of our second lull week. So next week, things pick up a bit, right? We'll have some reviews to talk about, or some previews to talk about. And appreciate all of our listeners joining us as well. We're going to, unfortunately, get back to the serious stuff in hour 2, kicking things off with Chris Booth, candidate for county council. And we'll also be joined by Professor Colin Flint, a geopolitical professor at Utah State University. He'll be with us next hour to talk Ukraine and the Russia invasion, what it means on the global stage. We'll be back with hour 2 of today's show right after this here on KVNU Logan.
It's spring in Cache Valley, and that means Baby Animal Days 2022. Once Upon a Farm at the American West Heritage Center, March 31st to April 2nd. Come see some furry tales featuring the exotic animals from Utah's petting zoo gone wild. Then April 6th through 9th, come see more than just the 3 bears with baby bear cubs from Yellowstone Bear World. As always, the cute and cuddly baby farm animals are available throughout the event. There'll also be wagon rides, historic demonstrations, food vendors, and other hands-on activities. Daily tickets are limited, so buy yours online today at awhc.org. Special thanks to sponsors Young Automotive, Zions Bank, and the Cache Valley Visitors Bureau. Baby Animal Days at the American West Heritage Center. Don't miss it.
The Cache Valley Media Group Home and Garden Show, presented by Anderson Seed and Garden, is Friday and Saturday, March 25th and 26th at the Eccles Ice Center. Experience over 100 vendors with garden, concert, doors, windows, pest control, landscaping, cabinetry, home remodeling, solar information, tree care. The list is endless. Food, fun, and kids' activities provided by the United Way of Cache Valley, free parking, easy access, and so many ideas at this year's Cache Valley Home and Garden Show at the Eccles Ice Center, March 25th and 26th.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
As our world changes, we're with you. News Talk KVNU Logan, 102 FM, 610 AM, the voice of Northern Utah.